Hi everyone, today we're going to be looking at two special things. One is called an angle bisector, kind of what you see right in front of you. And later on you're going to see examples of perpendicular bisectors as well. So let's begin here, shall we? An angle bisector. It's a ray that splits an angle into two congruent angles. So what this is saying here is that if that if ray AB is an angle bisector, then that guy right there is congruent to this guy right there. Or in other words, we could say angle DAB is then congruent to angle CAB. So we kind of looked at these before with angle bisectors, and a lot of that is going to remain the same as far as what we're going to be doing. So let's take a look at some examples that we're going to see here. So we're saying let's solve for x given that ray AB is an angle bisector. Well, in this case here for number 1, this 28 here and this 2x plus 6, those two guys are the exact same thing. Well, what are we doing with two things that are exactly the same? Well, we're just setting them equal to each other. So for number 1, I'm really looking at 2x plus 6 equals 28. Subtract that 6 then over to that 28. I'm going to get myself some 2x equals 22. And then when I divide, I get x equals 11. Pretty simple, right? Should be no problem if you're looking at ones like that, which is why I'm going to have you do then number 2, ladies and gentlemen. However, as we're going to kind of keep going through these, you're going to see some different tricks of the trade. And for example, I got number 3 here. Let's take a look at number 3. Number 3 gives you what BAD is essentially right here, but it's giving you also CAD, or this entire bad boy. So what that means is that if this 5x minus 9 is that, it also means that this guy right here is also 5x minus 9. Meaning that if I were to add both of these dudes up together, it would equal what this entire angle would be. In other words, we can take 5x minus 9, add that with 5x minus 9, and it should equal then 62. Or 10x minus 18 equals 62. Then it's just basic solving for x, like you guys know what you're doing. So adding 18 over to the other side, getting myself some 10x equals 80 action right here. And then when you divide, x equals 8. As you can see, there's going to be more than one way that we're going to be looking at these different angle bisecting questions. So that's it for number 3, which then means that I want you to tackle number 4 on your own. Now, we're going to take a look at 5 and 6. I'm going to do 5, and I'm going to have you guys then do number 6, so you can kind of see the similarities between the two. Now, what number 5 here is saying is that if this guy here is x, that this dude here has to be x too. We'll take a look. We have angle there set up. We've got angles here and angles here. So if I was looking at this entire triangle here, every little angle in the triangle is filled. Essentially, going back to earlier, if I was to add up all of these angles, it should add up to 180 degrees. So that's kind of how we're going to take a look at this. This x and this x makes that entire angle then 2x. And we add that 74, then we're also going to add that 52, and combined, they should add up to 180 degrees. Again, got this entire angle, and that entire angle of the triangle, which then have to add up to 180 degrees. Once you're here, it's just, again, solving for x like normal. So I got 2x, I'm going to add 74 and 52, get myself some 126, and that equals then 180. Then just subtract, and I get myself some 2x equals 54, and then when I divide by 2, x will equal 27. So again, I want to have you then give number 6 a try on your own, and let's see how that kind of goes. We'll check that out tomorrow then. All right, so that was angle bisectors. So let's take a look at perpendicular bisectors. Two things are going to happen here. It says it's a ray that divides a segment into two congruent segments. That's stating here that CA is the same exact thing that is AE. But it also makes a right angle with that segment as well. So here, that dude is 90 degrees. And over here, that means that that guy over there is 90 degrees. And this just kind of emphasizes that a little bit more so. So if ray AB is a perpendicular bisector, then segment CA is equal then to segment AE. And again, that the angles form 90-degree angles right there and there. All right, well, let's take a look at how to solve these. Note this is asking us to solve for both x and y. So two things to solve for here, ladies and gentlemen. So let's take a look here. Well, let's start with the x's, meaning we're going to start right in there. Well, 7x minus 8 is in that same location as right here, meaning it equals 90 degrees. So here we got a 90-degree angle, which then means that 7x minus 8 has to then equal 90. Then again, let's just solve. Add 8 over to 90, get myself 7x, that's an ugly 7, equals 98. And then when I divide, x equals 14. Hooray! Nothing too bad right there. Now, for y's, these two parts, this guy, this ray, is splitting this bottom segment into half, meaning this guy here is the same thing as this guy. Well, when two things are the same, what are you going to do with them? Set them equal. So again, I got 3y plus 9er equals then 33. Then it's just the same old tidbit of just solving for y. Subtract 9, get 3y equals 24. Divide, and y will equal 8. And there you have it. Number 2 is a lot like number 1, so I want you to give that one a shot. Number 3, though, is going to be just a tiny bit different, which is then why I'm going to have you then do 4 on your own. Now let's check out 3. Notice that it's going to start off a little bit more of the same. This guy here is 90 degrees, so we're going to set 20x plus 10 equal to 90. Subtract that 10 from 90, get 2x equals, I don't know why I put 18, but 80. Then divide, and x equals 4. Now, the thing that we have to take in mind now, though, is that the next part, we know that these two parts are exactly the same. They're congruent. So I'm going to write that out. 3x plus 6y equals 8y minus 18. Now, you probably noticed already that kind of one weird, strange thing about this, and that says that we have an x in here. Now, don't be afraid. Everything is going to be okay. All we're simply doing is taking this value for x and plugging it in for that bad boy. So essentially, it's saying it's 3 times 4 plus 6y equals 8y minus 18. Or 12 plus, because I got that from 3 times 4, plus 6y equals 8y minus 18. Then just solve for y here. 6y, subtract 6y. I got 12 equals 2y minus 18. I'm going to then add 18 over to the other side. And then I got myself 2y equals 30, where then if I divide by 2 to get y by itself, y is going to equal 15. So those are the main things that we got to know. This angle right there, 90 degrees. These two parts are congruent, so we're then going to set them equal. So try to take these tricks and plug it in for number 4, and let's see what you guys get for tomorrow. Shouldn't be too bad. Again, make sure that you're kind of following all your rules. Look back and forth with your notes when you're kind of doing the other problems I would like for you guys to do. And again, we're going to check them out tomorrow morning. All right, guys. Take care. Have a good rest of the day or night, and we'll talk to you soon. Bye-bye.